Hello friends, my name's Friday. I have my mic back. I'm so damn happy. For those of you who are out of the loop, check out this video to get caught up on the latest Friday stupidity. But to sum it up, I fried my GPU. Had to start editing on my crusty old iPhone using the icky built-in mic. Then, finally, literally the day my update video went live, I bought the component I needed to connect my mic to my iPhone, and now my audio sounds whiffy. If you're confused as to why I couldn't just plug my mic directly into my iPhone, it's because it's a condenser mic. More specifically, an AT2020 needs a phantom supply box just to actually work. So I had to get I think it's called a camera adapter, where you can plug your camera directly into your phone, but it works for other stuff too, which I was so happy to find out. Thank you, Lex, who is my co-creator, for telling me about this magical component, because now I don't have to use my crusty iPhone mic anymore. Anyway, this intro is going on way longer than it should. There's timestamps below if you want to skip ahead. Let's roll. So, picture this. 𝖐𝖐𝖊𝖘𝖚, your mind flayer buddies mid-monologue instructing the brain to nuke itself, when suddenly you get the option to betray them.
Surrender!
Subdued at last, it begs for its life.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me. Become absolute!
It pleads because it knows I'm its master.
Why are you being so creepy?
Listen, the best part of having to restart the game 6 fucking times was sending the Emperor into stabby hell. I hate that guy. Anyway, time to show you what happens when you stab everyone else in the back, not just the Emperor, because unfortunately you are also stabbing your friends in the back. This next part is edited a little differently. The scene itself is the same across all the companions. The narrator just has slightly different dialogue depending on the companion. So I've spliced everything together into one coherent sequence. I hope that made sense, but let's watch the rest of the clip.
What in all the sweet hells are you doing?
Together. Conquer. Rule. Command!
In my name. In my name.
In my name.
In my name.
In my name.
In my name.
absolute power courses through you. A frigid certainty amid your reckless flames. For perhaps the first time, your fate is your own. You can feel it, pulsing beneath your skin, racing through your body. This is true power. And it's finally yours. All of Toril is as a marble held in your hand. At last, you are complete. You are whole. You are absolute. Power courses through you, to be wielded not in Shah's name or Selûne's, but in yours alone. Power courses through you, far greater than the gelded gifts Mystra once offered. Even the orb seems satisfied. Absolute authority. A bliss like no other, drawn from a brain most great and most vile.
Now you have it all. Unlimited power. So, what will you do with it?
All right, now that you're caught up, let's dive into the good stuff, starting with Karlach's evil ending.
You've ascended to the height of power over the city that chewed you up and spat you out. You should have had a long life, a different life. And now, at last, you can.
Look at them. Afraid. They've always been afraid of me. You made Gortash your savior. He'd keep you safe, wouldn't he? Safe from people like me. Well, guess what, Baldur's Gate? You can't pick which parts of you to keep. Everything you reject will come back stronger. I'm home! I'm finally home! Oh, you must have missed me so much. But don't worry, I made friends while I was gone. Want to meet them? Much better.
Man, her ripping out her own heart was fucking metal. Also, I love how Karlach spoke in Rivendell. Oh no, it just hit even harder because of it. Next up, we have Wyll.
Long did you live in your famed father's shadow. Long did you toil thanklessly for the common people. But now, you know true power. The Sword Coast is yours to command, and the many lands beyond. Suddenly they seem so small. Before, you used to worry what lay behind those smiles, whether they would kneel for you of their own accord, or at the beckoning of your father. But you know better now. What matters is that they do kneel. Let the why be for lesser men. For the coast, for the entire world, there will be something approaching peace. But first, the blade.
Watching Wyll turn evil and commit straight up patricide was fucking wild. Wyll going full villain is about as believable as every world leader holding hands and singing Kumbaya. It is not just unlikely, it is straight up cosmically impossible. It felt so wrong seeing an evil Wyll, but I gotta admit, he looked so good. So good. Still though, I don't like evil Wyll. He's a dick. I like good Wyll. He's a homie. Next, we got Lae'zel.
Not so long ago, you longed to mount a red dragon and fight for your god regent. A pitiable ambition in retrospect. Soon, the 𝖕𝖊𝖘 will bow to a new queen. Lae'zel of 𝖕𝖊𝖊𝖘 will write the slates anew. A good 𝖕𝖊𝖘 knows when the battle is won. But she knows too when the battlefield has simply changed. Her enemy. But she knows too that a weapon should never be cast aside, so long as it still might be used. knows, too, that there is no such thing as loyalty to a lie. A good 𝖚𝖊𝖘𝖚𝖊𝖘 fights all her life for the right to return home. And she does not come empty-handed.
Hail, Queen 𝖊𝖊𝖘𝖚, the last of her name.
Hail, Queen 𝖊𝖊𝖘𝖚, the last of her name. That is such a fucking sick line. Unfortunately, despite her badass line, she does become 𝖊𝖊𝖘𝖚 2.0, basically. Or whatever number 𝖊𝖊𝖘 we're on at the moment. Just like Astarion becomes Cazador when you let him ascend. She becomes a very tyrant who sought to destroy. That's not just a tragedy. That's a whole ass Greek myth. Now, let's talk Gale. He's got two evil endings, technically speaking. First up, the least badass option, in my honest opinion.
The Dead Three's plot has been foiled, the Netherbrain subdued, and it was all thanks to you. You will not surrender the world you saved back to the heavens' faltering stewardship. This is but the first conquest. Every realm shall quake at your power. Every tongue shall speak your name in awe. Your empire will rival the gods themselves. This world is yours. Now for the rest.
So yeah, he basically wants to live out Karsus' greatest hits. It's also very similar to a 𝖊𝖊𝖘𝖊𝖘 ending you can get. Same vibes, just different font. But now we get to my favorite ending.
They bow before you, prayers and pleas mingling into a single submissive drone. But you are not here to yoke them. You come to set them free. The Absolute lies broken at your feet, the first god to fall, but not perhaps the last.
my boy becomes a damn god killer. I'm really curious if 𝖎𝖏 would step in, and for those of you not familiar with the lore, 𝖎𝖏 is the overgod. He normally doesn't give a shit about what's going on in the world as long as the essence of reality aren't tampered with. But Gale out here racking up god corpses like Pokemon? If that's not pulling at the cosmic wires, I don't know what is. And 𝖎𝖏? That guy doesn't warn people, he straight up erases them. Next up, Shadowheart.
For too long you allowed yourself to be defined by your faith. But no more. You shall not bow or pray or do anything that is not your choice. So choose. Which path calls to you? Darkness or light? Who you were, or what you may yet become? But Shar and Selûne's war need not be yours. Their fracture only weakened them both and pitted their followers against each other. You shall indulge their ancient follies no longer. A new church will rise, united in your image and blessed with the blood of the faithless. With silver and shadow alike, and the undying love of countless followers. At last, you are whole.
Now, I am like 90% sure she doesn't actually kill Shar and Selûne, but she does rebel against them in one of the most epic ways possible. I mean, except for, the part where she slaughters their followers. It's kind of less epic and more yikes. But, as long as you ignore the slaughter, I mean, she did a pretty badass thing, telling the goddesses to shove it. And finally, last but absolutely not least, we've got Astarion.
It's been a long time since you stood in judgment over others, holding their lives in your hands. But after everything you've done, doesn't this feel right? The city has been saved, from the 𝖈𝖊𝖘𝖘s at least. Its citizens aren't so sure about you. But what should they fear? With the Absolute's power in your hands, you can rule them not just as a Grand Duke, but a king. A Sun King. And you'll be a fair ruler, benevolent even. Although, of course, where there's light, there's darkness too. Just because you're a caring, benevolent leader doesn't mean you can't treat yourself every now and then.
I loved how, when the camera fades to black, the last thing you see are his eyes. That really stuck with me. And I really liked Karlach and Gale's ending as well, but I don't know, Astarion's? It's my personal favorite. Yeah, I'm biased, but I regret nothing. And I normally don't do this, but just a slight plug. There is a one-shot that Lex and I wrote together called The Tyrant King. It is about Astarion turning evil. I freaking love writing it. I enjoyed it so much. It's so much fun because it is something I have never really written before. It's a horror kind of story, but it's 7,000 words of pure awesome. It is rated mature. Heed the trigger warnings if you do go and read it. I'll provide links below to like all the platforms the story is on, but man, I had so much fun writing that. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Drop a comment and tell me whose evil ending was your favorite. If you liked the video, hit the like button and maybe even subscribe. Unless you're evil, in which case, do it twice. Huge shout out to my very good friend Lex for co-writing this beast of a script. You rock, my dude. Catch you next Friday, or maybe even Monday. Peace.
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend Friday. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying.